What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to JJD TV. I'm your host, Josh, and today we're coming at you with our 5 takeaways. I know we didn't do it directly after the game like we usually do, but that's because we did the other watch along. And now we're doing it a little bit different because, well, producer T just isn't here right now. So we thought we would just try to get it out for you guys. We're going to try to get you a lot of content in the upcoming days, especially for the weekend. So yeah, we're just going to get started right now and get into it. So we won 2-1 against Zenit, and that means that we topped the group. And by topping the group, it's obviously a very important thing, and it didn't really look like it was going to go our way. So starting off with our first takeaway is another poor first half. And it's not uncommon for us to have a poor first half. We always seem to have a poor first half this season and then are able to turn it around. But knowing that this game meant a lot to us, knowing that we could top the group and that the game meant absolutely nothing to Zenit, it's kind of frustrating to see the way that we performed in those kind of games where it's important. And if we keep doing this down the line, it's going to hurt us because we just look complacent. We didn't look interested. We didn't look motivated. And then it took the lead and honestly looked like the better team. So my first takeaway is we need to start addressing that because it worries all of us BBB fans each and every game, taking a look at how we start so poorly. Somehow we've been able to save results, but it's not always going to go that way. So that was my first takeaway of the game, is that it happened again. And for some way, shape, or form, we were able to make it work. But for the most part, it was a frustrating game all around. That goes into our second takeaway, which is a little more positive, but we had 9 players out of that game. That is insane. If you looked at our bench versus Zenit's bench, it was hilarious that we even were able to make substitutions and even have Reina Sancho on the bench. It just shows the kind of depth we still have. But considering that we had a decent amount of players out, we still were able to field a pretty relatively strong team, and we were able to obviously overcome this Zenit team in Russia to top the group. So for me, it just shows the depth that we have in it. That was a positive thing to take away, because with this COVID season, it's going to be a lot of games coming in, and being able to rest players or even able to put a squad out when we don't even have players available to us really shows what we're made of, and we were able to get a result. It was an ugly result, but we were able to get a result. And that goes into my third takeaway, which is the duo of Axel Witsel and Jude Bellingham, because there were a lot of players that were going on in that game that were not quite up to par, but 2 players that played absolutely fantastic. And you guys, we reached out to you on Twitter, and majority of you said Jude Bellingham, and Jude Bellingham played absolutely sensational. He was such a good player on and off the ball. He brought so much energy. He created a lot. And for a kid with 17 years old and knowing that he's had his issues from time to time when it came to competing in some of the bigger games, it's amazing to see the way he obviously stepped up when we were lacking in the midfield area, and he had a fantastic game. As well did Axel Witsel. Going back to his former club, he went back to Zenit. He knows how much this game meant to him. He knows that he hasn't been in tremendous form this season, but he got honestly a beautiful goal. He took it on with his left, curled it right in the bottom corner. Perfect return for him. He barely celebrated. He knew how much it meant to us. He knew he was excited. So it was amazing to see. Witsel and Bellingham are finding a little bit of chemistry right now, and it's just amazing to see that we have still Dahoud, Chan, and Delaney in that central midfielder position, and it's just fantastic to see the way that they're going. So I was very impressed with Jude Bellingham. He was the standout performer in my opinion, but also very impressed with Witsel, seeing the way he went back to his former club and was able to put in such a big result. And then our fourth takeaway, which is one that finally happened, and that was Moukoko breaking the Champions League record. It's the second time he's broken a record for us right now in Borussia Dortmund. He was the youngest ever player to appear in the Bundesliga, and now he's the youngest ever player to play in the Champions League. And that, by all stretches of the imagination, is a wonderful accomplishment. He didn't look overly comfortable in my opinion. I thought he had some sloppy kind of touches, but he's 16. He's young. I mean, he's obviously nervous, and I'm hoping that he can just get a little bit more minutes, get a little bit more comfortable playing with the big boys, and see what he can do, because we desperately need a backup number 9. And I was talking about you guys with it for as long as I possibly can remember, and it's just we don't have a backup number 9. We barely ever had a backup number 9. Thinking back, the last one I can think of is like Julian Schieber. Like it's ridiculous that we have never addressed it. We're hoping that we didn't address it this year because of this young kid, and I'm hoping he can come up, he can get better, and he can enjoy playing football up at the top level with us and seeing how we can do. So He wasn't the most impressive performance, I guess you could say, from Moukoko, but he's growing, he's learning, and this was a great experience for him. He broke the record, so huge congratulations to him. Very excited for that, and I'm hoping throughout Erling Haaland's injury layoff, Moukoko can start kind of slide his way into the starting 11 and see how we can do there. And then that leaves our fifth takeaway, our final takeaway, which is I wanted to definitely talk to you guys about. I want your opinion on it. It's in the title. There's a shocking face. We don't know what to do. And it's what is happening with Julian Brandt. Because in my opinion, he was the worst player on the pitch yesterday. It was just nothing was going right for him. The movement, the passing was just atrocious. And for someone who's so good and quick and maneuvers in tight spaces and is just an intelligent footballer, it's sad to see. Now, I don't quite know what it is. I've always stressed that playing in the 4-2-3-1 with him as your center attacking mid is the way to go. And then we haven't really played in a formation that really suited him. A lot of the times he plays as at number 8, sometimes in the center mid, or he'll play up as the double center attacking mid like he did yesterday, or he'll play as a false 9. That's not where we get the best of him. His best game this season was when he played, and I think he only did it once, when he played as that center attacking midfielder in a 4-2-3-1. He got an assist. He played very good in that game, but he hasn't been able to replicate it. And it's very nerve-wracking to see a player with such talent kind of going to waste right now, because I don't personally want to see him really on the field anymore. Like, he hasn't done anything he's been able to do since obviously coming to this club. And this year he's just taken a downward spiral. So I don't know what it is. I don't know what he needs to be able to get back in this squad and obviously deliver the way that we're expecting him to. But right now he's just not cutting it. And I want to hear you guys' opinions, because it sucks to say. I love Julian Brandt. I thought he would bring so much attacking presence and creativity to this lineup, but he just hasn't been able to do that this season yet. And I don't know if it's the formation, if it's Favre, if it's just him getting down on himself, but it's tough to see. And I want to know what to say to be able to make you guys believe that I'm okay with the way he's playing, because I'm not. It's not good enough. And at halftime, I was hoping that Favre took him off. He was the first substitution he ended up making, rightfully so. And we looked a lot better afterwards. So again, I'm not fully sure. I definitely want your guys' opinion on what you think Julian Brandt's biggest issue is and how we can get him back in the team. How are we going to rediscover his form? Because right now I'm at a loss. But that comes to the end of our 5 takeaways. We topped the group. So I know that it wasn't the prettiest game you've ever seen. I know there was a lot of frustration throughout the watch along. I was actually genuinely surprised we were able to turn it around. I'm a Canadian. I'm very, 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 very hopeful, very, very exciting to see the boys play, but I was pretty annoyed throughout the majority of the game. We were able to finally turn it around. Even in the second half, we didn't come out very strong, but we were finally able to get our group going. We hit the 2 important goals we needed. We topped the group. So all in all, it's job well done, but we definitely need to see these performances get better if we want to have any chance of going for a deep run in this year's Champions League. But that, ladies and gentlemen, comes to the end of our 5 takeaways. Let me know what you guys think of our 5 takeaways. Let me know what you guys think of the Julian Brandt situation, because that's the biggest one that for me, I don't know what to say, but we can't be happy. We with the huge amount of injuries that we had, we topped the group, job done. So let's just move on and see what we're going to be doing in the upcoming game against Stuttgart. We will have a little match preview for that and doing the watch alongs as well. So thank you everyone who was with us for the watch alongs yesterday. The support's been absolutely fantastic. We were getting dangerously close to the 1,000, especially even 900 subscribers. So if you are new around here, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and we will see you next time.